Hi friends, another shop video, down and dirty. This is a Ruger Wrangler hammer and trigger, and I think you can see that they're nicely ground on the side. Well, I use a surface grinder. I'll show you how to do it. Okay, here's the challenge. Original Wrangler hammers are MIM, which is fine, but they tend to have a slight wavy surface and are this sort of matte look, and I like to have them crisp, flat, with a clean look. All right, here's what our goal is. Now, do you see it's got a nice luster, it's flat, it's got consistent polishing marks on it. I'll show you how to do it. Just to give you an idea, here's two hammers. I blackened one and then just ran some 220 grit over it, and you can see the kind of hills and valleys. Okay, so a surface grinder uses a magnetic chuck to hold the hammer in this case, and then the precision grinding wheel slowly levels the surface. It's quite a process and saves a lot of work. Okay, I've pulled it out so you can take a peek. First pass, you can see the highs and lows. I mean, the steel is perfectly fine, and you'll see the final result is actually quite remarkable. But in order to save money, there's less hand work when they're manufactured, and this is the kind of stuff that happens. Well, here's a few more passes, and you can see we're getting there, but there's still a bit more grinding to do. Well, this happens to be the other side of the hammer, but you can see here we have the final grind. It's flattened, but there are some slight marks from the grinding wheel. I cheated and used a pretty coarse wheel. I'll show you what we do next. Well, one thing about gunsmithing work is you cannot escape the need for handwork. In this case, I'm using 220 grit on a perfectly flat sanding stick, and I'm going with the direction of the original grinding marks. And what this does is it flattens it further and gets rid of the grinding marks. It's really important to use something flat and fresh paper and lube. Okay, here's the original side from surface grinding. You can see the grinding marks on it. And this is the finished side, which I took to 320 grit. Well, here's the original. You can see the kind of gray, unpolished surfaces and the waviness. And then through the magic of surface grinding, we end up with a flat surface, and with some handwork, we've got uniform scratch marks, and this just changes the whole character of the gun. I know this was a pretty quick look, but if it's interesting to you, let me know in the comments, and I'll sort of delve into other facets and hopefully show you some interesting things. Thanks for tuning in.